The following program contains content that is not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the Community Media Center of Marin, it's MarINSANITY.
Yay! Thank you, Charlie. So you're all wonderful people. I want to see we got one of our Bruce Baums up there tonight. We had two last time, didn't we?
Yeah, you need a token Bruce Baum every once in a while.
Okay, Bruce. Well, welcome, buddy. This is lovely, isn't it? Eh? We're getting towards the end of this COVID nonsense. I hope the restaurants are starting to open up a bit, and we were actually eating indoors last week. It was great fun. And I've got a new pet project, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a little bit serious, but we've got to try and make it lighthearted. It's about saving the monarchs. Our beautiful butterflies, our state butterflies.
Those monarchs.
They're in. No, well, who's laughing?
I was laughing. I thought you meant
That's not a bloody joke. Come on. Now, I'm not talking about Queen Elizabeth and her mob. We've heard enough about them. I don't care. They can go extinct. That doesn't bother me. Harry's not even a royal anyway. He was like the other guy's kid, wasn't he? That's why they chucked him out, right? Because he was the bodyguard's son. Anyway, never mind. The monarch butterflies, they're going extinct because they're not going extinct. They're kind of getting close to being in danger, because of all this spraying that's going on. And I want to just say to the mayor of San Rafael and the mayor of Mill Valley and all the other politicians around here, close your pocket for 5 minutes. You don't have to take the bribes. Just stop spraying that garbage all over Marin County. You're killing off all the beautiful animals.
Amen.
Hey, you're killing off all the beautiful animals. So we're having a campaign to save the monarch, and we're going to be buying seeds and stuff and like planting milkweeds everywhere and stuff. So anyway, enough about that. But if I don't take these opportunities to speak my mind, I might as well not be anybody. See? And
while you have it.
What?
Speak it while you have it.
While I had the chance. I mean, ladies, you think I should dye my hair brown? Lady?
No.
No, because I'll be 72 next month. We're 72 next month. I don't want to start looking old.
Distinguished.
No, I'll start looking old next month. It's no good.
Try growing some.
Does it make you feel old?
Now, it's just a joke. You blew the punchline, Jill. It doesn't matter. I'm just fooling around because that's what you do. So we've got a great show for you people tonight, and I want you to all just sit back and relax. You see, it's what you're watching at home. It's like Sunday night, right? So you take all your clothes off, get frisky. No, not you, sir, not you. No, the ladies, take your clothes off. No, it's all right.
Hey, now,
think back, smoke a joint, eat some mushrooms, have some sex. It's great. That's what life's all about. Stop worrying. You all got plenty of money.
Hi, Brad.
Who's that? Who said something?
I did.
Who? Who are you?
Me.
Me?
Cheryl.
Cheryl. Oh, Cheryl, I can't see you. You're not on my line here. I can't see you.
Oh,
Cheryl.
okay.
Is Cheryl the troublemaker? We know who you are.
Dr. Cheryl, the troublemaker.
You.
Yeah, anyway. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to roll along with the show. And I want you to say, let me just put in right now, if any of you want to keep up with comedy in Marin, because there's a lot of stuff starting to happen fresh now, not just with MarINSANITY on, Marin TV right here. Just remember, this is on channel 26 on cable. It's cmcmtv.com and all that crap. Just look us all up. You'll find all the stuff on there. It's all on Facebook. Go to Facebook. Look up Marin TV. And if you go to my page, Griffin Daley, I post up all the little comedy shows that are starting up around here. So, some of it's for charity and some of it's not. But have a quick look. Follow old Griffin Daley on Facebook. I know you're all on Facebook. Why aren't you following me? I'm coming for you if you don't follow me.
Looking right at me.
I'm looking at everybody, Bruce.
Are you on Twitter?
No, I am on Twitter, but I don't bother with it. I haven't got time for all this crap, So anyway, we're going to roll right along now with one of my favorite comics in the Bay Area. Yes, it's absolutely crazy. Give it up big time for the wonderful Drea Meyers.
Yay!
Oh my gosh. Yes, thank you so much. How are we feeling tonight?
Good.
Yes. I'm happy to be here, Marin. It's nice to see you all. My name is Drea Meyers. I do dye my hair, you guys. I dye my hair brown. I'm at a weird age. Like, I'm not quite a cougar. I'm like a young puma. You know, I'm a young puma without dental insurance. So really, I'm a saber-toothed tiger. You know what I mean? I got a couple pointy teeth in my mouth, you guys. That's what sucks about doing Zoom shows is there's no hiding these teeth on webcam. Like in real life, I can go like this. Over Zoom, I look like a chubby meth head. Like, hey. Yeah, I am getting older. I never say my age out loud though, because I read that Bowie and Prince both stopped saying their age out loud. So I'm not going to do it anymore. So now if you want to know how old I am, you got to count the circles on my vagina like a tree. Yeah. Some of them are harder to count because they're smaller and closer together. Those were the dry years. Those are the years of the droughts. Oh my gosh. It's going to be a small ring this year too, you guys, because I have not been hooking up because of COVID, you guys. So let's not even get into that. I do like older men now. I'm starting to look at older men differently. That's another sign that I'm getting older myself. Like I like when older men have like
You later.
what'd she say? Karen just said something. I don't know. I like when older men have like gray hair, but then they have like a super hot face. You know, I'm just like, oh, it's like a well-aged bottle of whiskey. You know what I mean? I just want to take him down off the shelf, dust him off, or remind him what it's like to be swallowed. Hello, this airs at 11:30 p.m. at night. So if you're watching this at 11:30, hi, how are you doing? How you doing? I am looking at older men differently though. Like when I was younger, I used to look at older men and all I would see was money. That's it, you know? But now I look at older men and I see money and stable housing. You know what I mean? I'll be like walking down the street and I'll see like a 6-year-old man with white hair and I'll be like, what's your name, white picket fence? Like, how you doing, breakfast nook? You know? Dudes are out here catcalling trying to get laid. I'm out here catcalling trying to get a mortgage. Just driving down the street, rolling down my window like, hey, Pa, what that FICO score look like? We look like we have at least 4 or 5 bedroom houses in the Zoom right now. You guys, there's at least a few 5 bedrooms. Some of you women look like you have she sheds in the backyard. I'm very jealous. That's all I want in life is a she shed. You know what I mean? And just go outside, do arts and crafts, and just be like, tell me when you want me to come back in, you know? Another sign I'm getting older, dude, is older women are starting to like argue with me in public. Like I'm very tall in real life. I'm 6'1" in real life. I'm huge, right? And I went to this Safeway and I was in the bathroom, using the bathroom, and I came out of the big stall and there was an older lady with really long gray hair and she was brushing her really long gray hair. And then I came out of the stall and she just looked at me and went, I used to be as tall as you. But then menopause came and it took me down 3.5 inches. And then she just looked at me and went, 3.5 inches. And the crazy thing is she was like a foot shorter than me. I was like, I had to bite my tongue. I was like this close to being like, well, what happened to the other 9 inches? Where'd they go? You know, but that's how you know you're aging, when you start arguing with older women in Safeway bathrooms. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, I'm here, people. You know what I hate though is everyone always says that older people are boring. They're like, oh, older people are boring. I think this year has really taught me that that is not true, you guys. It's not true. Older people are not boring. They've just been through a lot of trauma. You know, they've just been through trauma and they're just trying to rest. You know what I mean? Just trying to take a break. For real. Like, dude, by the time I'm like 60 years old, 70 years old, they're gonna be like, why doesn't Andrea want to play? And they're gonna be like, because she's been through some shit. All right. Let her freaking relax once in a while. Yeah, this has been a really long year of COVID. It really hit me how long it was, because at the beginning of the very first lockdown, I heard my neighbors having super loud sex. And now they got a newborn baby. That's how long. Dude, that's how long this has been going on. I remember it was like the first week of lockdown and I heard it and I was like, they're going to have a baby. It was really loud, dude. I remember I was just sitting in my house by myself on lockdown, just listening to that. Like, what are they doing? And then 9 months later, here they are, they have a kid. It was my downstairs neighbors too. You know how loud you gotta be for me to hear that whole thing?
Could you keep up with them?
Not by myself, I couldn't. I needed a partner. But by myself, I could not. Yeah, I'm glad. I don't know. I feel like one day somebody's gonna ask me what was the most traumatizing part of COVID, and I'll say I heard someone conceive. Literally. Yeah, the walls in my apartment are really thin, you guys. So like whenever I do Zoom shows, I'm scared that they're just, my neighbors are just over there listening to me like, why is this bitch so passionate on her Zoom calls with her friends? Like what is she doing over there? Yeah, when we were on lockdown, I live alone. So when we were on lockdown, it was super hard for me because I was just alone, like all the time, just alone. Like I was going crazy. I had to start doing tricks. Like I started wearing men's deodorant. Yeah, just to literally smell like someone else was there. You know what I mean? And then when I went to bed at night, I'd be like, someone holding me. You know? You got to be careful though, ladies, if you ever do that. Because one time I got really stoned and then I forgot I was wearing it and I was cooking. And then I was like, oh shit. And I was like, oh, it's just my deodorant. Thought someone snuck up on me in lockdown while I was cooking pilaf. It was just my deodorant, you know? There's no soft sense to men's deodorant. You can either smell like an entire forest or you can smell like a surfboard. That's it. Those are the only 2 options. Yeah, I had to retrain myself to not live in fear too when I was on lockdown because I was all alone for so long, right? Like at the beginning of lockdown, my drunk neighbor came over and he tried to get into my door at like 4 a.m. So I just heard like random noises at my door and I like ran into my bathroom, like cowered and got all scared. Like, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? But then I retrained myself, and 6 months later into lockdown, whenever I heard random noises at my door, I would get all hyped up, like, hell yeah, it's time to stab someone. Let's do this shit. This Netflix was getting boring. Let's go. We're doing squats for 6 months. Let's do it. Yeah. I've been wearing my mask. I kind of like the mask because it hides my double chin. So that's the only thing I like about it. It does suck wearing a mask though when you have glasses because they constantly fog up, right? Like all the time. But it is a really good anger management strategy because every time I get heated, I gotta calm down if I want to see again. I'm just wearing it while I drive now, you guys, and my road rage is gone. If you ever see people driving around with a mask on and they're all by themselves in their car, that's what they're doing, you guys. They're controlling their road rage. It works. You guys got to try it. So I do not have any kids. I'm really glad that I do not have kids because we've been on lockdown. I don't think I'm going to have kids. I'm never going to have kids, you guys. I've decided I'm not going to have them. And people are more cool about that now. But when I used to tell people I wasn't going to have kids, they would always say the same three things to me. They would either be like, you just need to find the right man. Or they would say, you're going to change your mind about having kids when you get older. Or they would say, it's different when they're your own. I don't know. I just feel like that's rude, you know? Like I'm telling you a big life decision. Why are you trying to talk me out of it? I don't talk shit about your Mazda.
You can still adopt.
Right. And it's also rude because like I would never say those same three things to any of my friends that do have kids. Like what if I went over to my friend's house for lunch and she starts chasing her bratty 4-year-old around the house and I just yell out, you just need to find the right man. Or we're watching like TV and a commercial for like vaginal rejuvenation comes on and I'm just like, oh, you're going to change your mind about having kids when you get older. Or I go to like a Target at like 5 p.m. on a weekday and I see some ladies like trying really hard not to hit her kid in public. And I'm just like, it's different when they're your own, huh? I'll never say that, you guys. That's rude. I am getting to the age though where I'm ovulating super hard, you guys. I'm ovulating so hard. Like once a week, my hips just blow it up another 6 inches. Like, let's go. We're ready to birth. Let's do this. You know? My body is just like trying to have a baby without even asking me. I'm like, calm down, body. Shit. I am ovulating hard though. I'm ovulating so hard. I went to go pee and I pulled an entire 6-pack of egg whites out of my vagina. Does that ever happen to anyone else in this Zoom? I was like, damn. I was like, you could have fried that up in a pan, you guys. Could have served that to all the gluten-free bougie brunch broads. And called it an ovulate. They would have been like, are these eggs locally raised? They'd be like, yep, pulled them off Drea this morning. They're cage-free. They are cage-free. Yes, so I'm on unemployment right now, which is great. Thank you to the government for paying me to live through this bullshit. I appreciate that. But yeah, I am on unemployment. I love it. It's amazing. I'm having a good time. This is the first time in my life that I've ever been paid to do comedy. Yeah, the government's paying me and I'm doing comedy. So here we are. But I'm going to have to look for a job soon because it's going to run out soon. So that sucks. The hardest part about looking for a job is not wanting one. Probably the most difficult part of that whole process. The second part, the most difficult part for me is the job interviews because I'm way too honest, you know? Like if I ever start acting and they ask me where I learned to act, I'll say job interviews. I'm a character the whole time. Thank you so much, you guys. My name is Drea Meyers.
Hey, come on. All right. Thanks, Drea. That was beautiful. I'll see you up there in the city one of these cold and windy nights, I guess, if you ever ask me again. No. Is another beautiful comic. Yes, another wonderful, wonderful comic. Give it up for Sarah Kharri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure if one thing or everything about my outward appearance was the first indication to you guys that I was a lesbian, but if not, my overall reluctance to put my mouth too close to this microphone. Probably should have been the second one. The kind of lesbian that eats her popsicles with a knife and fork just in case, you know? It's a little relic for my comfort. But the way that I eat an ice cream sandwich will probably explain a lot. In my defense, though, they didn't want us to eat them vertical with our tongue. They should have given us more cookie, you know? Like, never mind the fact that I've been set up to fail by nature because I'm gay. Like, I got very sensitive teeth. What kind of monster can bite ice cream? Like, people try to say that gay folks are like the freaks of nature and the degenerate, but like, I just go down on my girlfriend. I'm not out here biting ice cream like a stage 12 psychopath. That's unnatural if you ask me. I got back on dating apps recently because according to my Apple Watch, I masturbated 2 miles yesterday. It was my I need to get back out there. Those were not the kind of steps I wanted to do. I'm from a really, really small town, like a really small rural city in Northern California, where like the only other lesbian within like 100-mile radius is like that first PE teacher we all had that kind of looked like John Bon Jovi when he cut his hair. You know? You know the one. So I thought like moving to San Francisco was going to be like the land of milk and honey compared to what I was used to. But instead of the land of milk and honey, I feel like getting on Tinder feels like boarding a Noah's Ark of 2 of each kind of married couple that I don't want to have a threesome with. Like, that's all I ever match with in San Francisco are girls that are looking for a second girl in a threesome, which is super annoying because, like, 1, there's nothing about my dating profile that would indicate that I was bisexual. And, like, 2, you don't even want to fuck your boyfriend, Katie. It's what brought you to this app. I'm just trying to find myself a girlfriend, not somebody else's husband and anniversary present. Leave me out of it. The concept of having a threesome with a man when you're a lesbian is a lot like the concept of an airplane ride when you're anybody involving a baby. Just know that nobody wants you here except for the person that brought you, and for everyone else, you're killing the vacation vibes. Dare if I say, though, this isn't the most feminist thing I've ever said, but I feel like a threesome involving a man would be the one time in ever a guy could say something sexist to me, like, go make me a sandwich, and I'd actually pretty okay with it. Like, oh, you mean instead of have sex with you? I would be pissed, but like, you want mustard, big guy? Well, be right back. I've also been doing a lot of experimenting with the marijuana in quarantine, like most of America. There's not a whole lot open, not a lot to do. I recently let one of my friends talk me into something called a dab. Do you guys know what a dab is?
A little dab will do you.
Marijuana dab, for people that like aren't familiar, it's like a hyper concentrated wax form of marijuana. Ranges anywhere from like 55 to fuck 3 days of your life percent. You can pick it up at medical dispensaries when you would like to alleviate your body of a symptom called productivity. Cleared that up for me. Have you ever been so high that you felt your heartbeat in your face? That's a lot like what being on a dab is. It's like an entire day where your brain just switches from operating software to that screensaver that just kind of floats around to keep shit from freezing. Like, I wasted an entire day just like staring at the wall, asking myself philosophical questions. Like, why am I still standing in the shower? Has it been an entire day already? And why does my face feel like my vagina feels when I watch 2 girls kiss? I haven't been this wet, throbbing, and confused since theater camp. I highly don't recommend dabbing. I noticed in the city that like a lot of straight dudes wear Patagonia stuff. Like literally everybody has Patagonia stuff. And I thought it was because tech bros were like ununique douchebags that all just kind of mimicked each other in place of a personality. But turns out it's not just that. It's the fact that straight dudes kind of live like they're camping. Have you seen the inside of a straight guy's apartment? It's like the same government issue, like eggshell white. It's like the inside of a yurt. Like, I don't know, like Yosemite National Park chic of the inside with like one cast iron skillet, like one bar of soap and nothing else on the inside. Maybe a lawn chair. But I have to hand it to him, because if you can manage to get girls to stay in that apartment, you must be doing something that I'm not doing right. Yeah, so I was reading this article the other day, and the article was a listicle about it was like the 10 youngest self-made billionaires. And I don't have time to go into like why that's fucked up, because a lot of the metrics were kind of confusing, but I do have time to go into why it's fucked up that Kylie Jenner was on that list. Because like, I feel like it's a lot easier to be a self-made billionaire when you're like born into a family of billionaires, you know? Like, not to condone her or, you know, condemn her unique struggle or anything, but like, what did you have to do to be a billionaire, Kylie? Like, not die? Like, no, don't bump into anything. Life is pretty fucking good. Just try not to fuck that up. Like, was that the process of becoming a billionaire for you? The second part of that that's really fucked up is that an entire family of people got essentially that rich and famous because one member of that family gave the laziest blowjob ever. Like, this is probably not the room that's actually seen the tape, but I'm just saying that like it didn't deserve $1 billion. And I know what you're probably thinking, like, did this chick just roll through it here, introduce herself as a lesbian, and then start taking a hard left and giving blowjob advice? Which, like, okay, fair point, but also in my defense, like, the best coaches don't play. Bill Belichick didn't play. He's coached his team to like 6 Super Bowls until just recently. Greg Popovich didn't play professional basketball. He has 5 championships. I don't have to give a blowjob to have an eye for talent, you know? I don't have to play football to know like when somebody shanked it, and I don't need to play guitar to know that Kirk Hammett's a better guitar player than Kurt Cobain. I've got eyes. I've got ears. I can tell.
Yeah.
Here's a recent story that happened to me. I don't know how much more time I have. Did you guys know that you could get a ticket for stuff that had nothing to do with your car in San Francisco? I was recently issued my first dog poop ticket, and I know that you're thinking I'm a bad person right now, but I promise by the end of my story, you'll probably be more on my side. So for the record, I had bags with me, and I picked up the dog poop. I was walking around in my neighborhood, which is really close to Golden Gate Park, and I'm not kidding. I walked for like what had to have been half a mile, couldn't find a trash can. Walked in, then started tracking it on my phone, and it was like another 0.75 miles, still no trash can. And I was like, okay, like just for my dignity at this point, I've got to find somewhere to dump this dump. You know what I mean? Like, this is just kind of degrading. Why is it harder to find a trash can in this city than it is to find the princess's Legend of Zelda? There's no excuse for me walking a mile with a bag of dog poop in my pocket. And so I thought like this porta potty was like a perfectly fine place to like set it, because I know that they come and pick stuff up like every Monday or whatever. And so when they were cleaning out other stuff, it would just get picked up with all that. But I ended up getting in trouble. And the person that had caught me explained to me, like, I understand this is kind of a silly ticket, but if you need to, you can contest this in court. And I was like, really? Has someone ever done that before? And if so, like, what would it sound like to defend yourself against that, you know? Like, you know, sorry, officer, for throwing away that turd in that place where, you know, come to think of it, I think I kind of nailed that, actually. Why am I here? Like, but, that was how I discovered that the city was really just a large organization working for big dog poop, because I made every effort to throw it away and threw it away in a place where you'd think it would still be appropriate, and I still wound up getting a ticket. So that's my dog poop story, and that's my time. I'm Sarah Carey. Thanks.
Sarah Kharri,
Awesome.
wonderful stuff, Sarah. Thank you for coming. Now, well, you're not coming up, but thank you for being on the old show, darling. It's wonderful. Hope to see you soon somewhere. You know, guys, we used to call my sister the Bible because she was left on the shelf. Anyway, never mind. Jill shaking her head. Well, I've got to try it somewhere, Jill. Hey, listen, here's a funny guy. No, he's a funny guy. Denaris Usaik de Rosa. Yes.
Hey.
Yo. How you guys doing? My name is Daenerys. They call me Detox. I have to kill you if I tell you why, but it's a long story. Speaking of billionaires, I actually love billionaires myself. I really do have a lot of respect for millionaires and billionaires. If anybody is listening and is a billionaire and wants to sponsor me, tap in right away. You know, I'm here to support y'all. I'm single. Anybody single out there? It's rough. 2021 being single is difficult. I really think, I've been thinking about it. I got this theory that anybody who has good relationship skills and a father is not in the dating pool. They're in relationships. That's the hard part. So anybody who can hold a relationship isn't there. You know, I was looking at the online dating programs. I realized nobody online has a dad, you know, so they can't have relationship skills. It's rough. It's rough. I used to go on Tinder. This is how I would go on Tinder. I would just swipe every single girl to the right. Yes. I don't think it makes sense. The big flaw in Tinder is they're asking who I would like to date, which is never came into play before, really. I've only taken the few that I've had, the few options, and then started dividing them up from there. But literally to just give me an option really kills the app for me. It's depressing. Even when I picked everybody, all I got were bots, trannies, and bots. And every once in a while, there'll be an undesirable, you know, they're in there sprinkled around just to kind of find a place, find a home. So I end up dating undesirables. That's my goal. No, I tried, I'm old, so I didn't know which app. I just didn't want to be the same app as my friend, you know, because we have the same taste in women. So I figure, you know, the app doesn't really represent the population. It's more like it's representing 40 singles within that category who just can't seem to hold a relationship down and cycle. So you end up fucking the same 40 people over the course of 2 years. I didn't want to do the same app as him. That's gross. I just want different girls to go out with, you know. I tried Plenty of Fish. Yeah, Plenty of Fish. I thought it was a joke, you know, but they deliver an app dedicated to catfish, you know, pure catfish. Not a single real person on Plenty of Fish. You know, which is okay. If you're in prison, it's okay. Plenty of Fish all day. You don't even have to force the issue to see who they really are. You just play along. I don't know. I like to date Mexican women because they never get mad, and that's important to me. What? If you think I'm lying, and you see one mad, walk up to her and ask her if she's mad. 100% of the time, I'm not mad. You're mad. I'm happy. You must be mad for accusing me to be mad. But it works for me because every single time, I'm not mad. I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny that you think you're a comedian. I wish I had a Zoom show with all my ex-old ladies there just so they could all at least think this shit is funny, but it's rough out here on these streets. Any AA or anybody, any addicts in here today in the Zoom?
Working on it.
Yeah, working on it.
All
Yeah,
of us,
don't
all-
do. Yeah, everyone's high too. Don't do NA or AA, okay? I don't believe in AA or NA. Too many steps for one, okay? For two, too many other things they offer you to be addicted to, you know? So like cheap sex, cigarettes, coffee, it's all there, you know? And you're trying to break the addiction. Other thing I know from the streets is if I have a problem, the best thing to do to get over it is to stop fucking talking about it all the time. You know, don't tell me every time I see you, it's been 72 days since the last time I smoked crack. It's like, I'm a math major. That was Christmas, you heartless asshole. I know how your kid went through. That is not cool, man. You know, quit telling me. How about instead of using the word addicts, let's just replace it in the vocabulary with connoisseur, okay? Because I can talk, okay? I don't smoke crack, but if you're gonna tell me the finer insights and how to find a nice crack pipe that's not gonna blow up your lungs, hey, you never know how low I'll get in this pandemic, you know what I'm saying? It's information I can use, you know? I'm not just beating myself up all the time. I don't know. I relapsed myself, I'll be honest. Anybody else relapse?
Not yet.
It's rough. I slept with my ex-girlfriend. Worst relapse I could do. I've been trying to get away from her. You know, like the plague, I've been avoiding her at all costs. But, and the thing is, I thought, you know, I was gonna be mad at her. You know, we're not gonna ever get together again. But now I feel bad and I'm all sad because I was going down on her and she tastes like rubbers, you know? And it's just like, she has a chemical imbalance. I'm over here trying to get laid and she's dealing with the real medical condition at this time. I should be not so heartless, you know? It's crazy. And it's not what you think. We haven't been talking for 7 months and she promised me she's not fucking with anybody. You know, it's something. I know it's true too. I went to Hawaii last year with my buddies and came back, tasted like rubbers back then too. Yep, didn't say anything, must be a flare up, you know? It's rough. I don't know. All these comics, anybody ever been friend zoned? It's rough, right? Friend zone, getting friend zoned. Anybody ever got friend zoned during the pandemic shutdown? Yeah, it hits a little harder, huh? The only 3 people you're in contact with, one of them just wants to escape the cycle. Yeah, it's rough. It's cold out here. I'll tell you what, it hurt more though when I got friends on my dogs. Yeah, rough, man. Come home. What's up, buddy? And he just stares at me, doesn't even move, you know, no back rubs, doesn't even want food scraps. He just sits there like a vegan, you know? My piece of meat falls on the floor. He just looks at it, just disgusted with me. You know, it's really sad. I do love dogs though. Anybody else got a dog? Love your dogs? Best animal. Best human connection to animal, you know. I beat my dog, you know, because my dad beat me. You know, this is how we show affection in my family. It's a sign, it's sort of a sense of endearment, you know, endearment. What I do is I do it every single day. I beat my dog. My dad couldn't do that. Yeah, no, I take him to, what I do is I take him to a dog park. I tire him out, jump in my car, race him to my house, beat him every day. Except for the time he got to my house first, and I roughed him up a little bit because that's what my dad would have done. You know, my dad loves me. I love dogs. I really do love dogs. Check my profile on OkCupid, you can tell I love a lot of dogs. No,
Are you Korean?
Barbecue. Here's the thing about kimchi. It's rotten fucking cabbage, okay? Let's just get it out there, all right. Kimchi was also my Kung Fu instructor, which really threw me off when I became 16 and tried to eat barbecue shit. Anyways, you know, shout out to all the animals that I've eaten. Yeah. Every single animal I've eaten gave their life, you know. But I don't want to say that without saying shout out to every single plant life that I've eaten as well, because the vegans disgust me with the way that they just turn their cold shoulder to the life of a plant, eating salads like with no remorse. I can hear the silence of the lettuce. Have you ever seen a lawn mowed? Okay, have you ever seen? That's like Auschwitz to me in the plant form. I can hear them crying. Okay, quit being so cold, vegans. Okay, just admit it. We're rough. We're rough on people. Anybody use Nextdoor app? Yeah, Nextdoor. Nextdoor. Oh yeah. I want to call Nextdoor app Next Snitch. Okay, ever since I parked across the street from my house in front of my neighbor's house, I have an entire fucking forum thread outlining the color of my jeans look like shit, everything they could think of, these heartless neighbors of mine. I want to come up with an app. Yeah, I just want to call it Next Snitches Get Stitches. Yeah, just send some homeboy to everybody who starts a bad thread, what's their ass. I have nothing to do with it. Actually, I am just a programmer creating software to better the neighborhood. All I know. Pandemic lessons. I used to call this the humbling. We learn a lot of stuff. We're all humbled. I was going through hell right before, so it just felt like everybody just came down to my level. Oh, what? You guys are only buying 1 pack of toilet paper. You know what I learned? How to shit in the shower. Yeah, 0 toilet paper. Just you got to wash your toes. You got to wash your feet really well. It does leave a trail. But if you do it right, there's countries that have completely converted over to shitting in the shower. Okay, they do not waste toilet paper. Just scrub. Make sure you scrub. Something else I learned in the pandemic.
Time's up, buddy.
Time's up. Okay, I didn't see a light. My name is Detox. I love you guys.
Detox. We love you too, man.
Yeah.
Detox. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, our headliner tonight is a wonderful guy. I was on a show with him last week. He rocked the socks off the place. Give it up big time for Tito Gonzalez.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you so much, Griffin. It's so good to be here, man. Well, I had a pretty long day today, man. I don't know, cause are you guys all in Marin? Is this like Marin TV? You guys all live there?
Yeah.
No? Yeah. I worked today in Inverness. You guys familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing construction over there, and we were like tearing apart this house. And then all of a sudden, one of my coworkers was like, "Oh my God, it's asbestos. We're working with asbestos." And he got all scared. I'm like, "What are you scared about?" I got all stoked. I'm like, I could finally see those commercials and be like, I could call that number. Like, have you worked with asbestos? Like, yes, I have. Finally, something for me. And it was such a trip because we had worked there for hours. And like, as soon as you heard the word asbestos, then everybody was like, "Oh my God, like, are we gonna finish the job?" I was like, yeah. It's like, you didn't care about it before. Why do you care about it now? I mean, you didn't know it was there. It's like spiders. Right? A lot of times spiders, you don't know they're there. You're not going to care about them. Right? All right. So I probably have whatever asbestos is now. What does it even do? I don't know. Cancer, I guess.
Cancer.
Yeah.
For about 20 years.
It takes 20 years?
Something like that.
I got 20 years to try to make it in comedy, I guess. I love doing comedy, man. It's my favorite thing to do. And it's so good to do it in any platform, whether it's like Zoom, in person. Because when I wasn't able to do it, like I would get grumpy, like not doing comedy because it's what I love. So when I don't get to do it, I get really upset. And like I'll get upset at things that don't really matter, like advertisements, right? And there's an advertisement in particular that gets me really mad. And it's an advertisement for this company called Gig. And Gig is just like, it's like, you guys know what Lime scooters are? Yeah. So Gig is that for cars. And their whole slogan was find a car, drive it, then leave it. Right? I was like, yo, man, really? I'm like, now it's a car sharing app? Right? Like when my grandpa used to do it, oh, it was a felony. Like, that's not fair. You know how many times my grandpa would pick me up from school like, "Hey, fool, get in. It's a rental." Love my grandpa, man. He's like the coolest person to hang out with because I get to see where the bad genes come from. Right? Which is why you should hang out with your elders, right? Because you had to hang out with your elders to realize like we're not gonna make it. Like that's why I love him. I love hanging out with him. Like I know you're not supposed to, right? Because like COVID and stuff, but like I've actually gotten closer to my grandpa in this time than ever before. I don't know why. I mean, people are like don't hang out with the elders, but like my grandpa, he smokes crack, so it's not much getting past that, man. He's still here. You know, asbestos, crack, he's got it all. But I was hanging out with him, man, and we're driving by the San Francisco jail. And my grandpa just looks over and he's just like, he has this look in his eyes of like good memories, you know? So weird. He just looks over, he's like, mijo, you see that? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, mijo, that's a good one. I'm like, that's a good one? He's like, yeah, mijo, they gave me cookies. It's like grandpa's a beast. He wasn't tripping about a jail sentence just because oatmeal raisin. But I also just love hanging out with like seeing my grandpa and my grandpa's relationship. That's my favorite thing to me because they're still together, you know, but they hate each other. Right? And I'm like, damn, that's love. Like, I don't think you're supposed to like who you're with, right? I think you'll be with them longer if you don't like them. That's my theory, just from watching my grandpa. Like, when my grandma goes to speak to my grandpa, it hurts him physically. My grandma will be like, can you grab me the plate? And he's like, huh? Nah. Like his knees buckle. He's like, I don't get it. The way this woman speaks, my ankle blew out. But they're still together, you know. It's beautiful, dude. I just gotta find, that ride or die. Like I just ran into an ex-girlfriend. Have you guys run into an ex recently? No. All right. Well, I'm gonna do a joke anyway. Like I ran into an ex, man, and like anytime you run into an ex, you always want to hope that they're doing worse than you, right? Slightly. Like just slightly, you know. And I ran into her, and she was like all happy. I was like, "Fuck." And she was like, "Oh man, Tito, so good to see you. I just traveled all over Europe. I just went to Germany, Switzerland, France, and like I'm an ex-boyfriend, so like I wanted to say dope, but what my mind was just thinking was like her saying like, hey Tito, I just went to Europe. I just got fucked in Germany, Switzerland, France." No? All right. Well, yeah, like I said, I was working construction. Before that, I was a mechanic, and I've always found like a loving place in working in trades, you know, because like I grew up without a dad, and trades are the best thing to get into if you grew up without a dad, but you still want older men to yell at you. Like, fucking pour the foundation right, you know. But I liked being a mechanic. Honestly, I like doing like this construction carpentry a lot more. But something that always blows my mind about these trades, it's even when I was a mechanic, you know, like we wouldn't get the same respect that other trades would, or sorry, any other profession. Damn near, trades don't get respect at all, right? Like as a mechanic, we never got the same respect as like doctors or lawyers or like murderers. Should I say murderers? My bad, guys. I mean, cops.
Yeah.
That one's for me.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I didn't never understand was why people respect doctors more than mechanics. Like, why? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, do you guys not realize that doctors and mechanics do the same job? Right, guys? We do the same thing, yo. Like, we both false diagnosed for profit. Hey, you thought it was just an oil change? Oh, the mortgage. You give it up. I don't trust doctors, man. I don't. Like, I was in a car accident when I was young, and and like I had several surgeries. I had like 6 surgeries, and after a while, the doctor was like, "Yo, Tito, like this is as good as it gets." I was like, "Damn." But now that I'm older, I know what he was really saying. Was like, "Yo, Tito, like you don't have health insurance." Right? That's why one of my eyes looks like it's been smoking weed without the other one. That's why I love my grandpa once again, man. It brings me back to him because when that first happened, when a car accident first happened, I got off the Greyhound and I was just looking, rough, like, scars like everywhere. My grandpa, first thing he says to me, he's like, "Hey, what's up, Scarface?" Just like that, like Latino, like, you went through some shit, but fuck it, like you're gonna make you laugh. That's what it's all about, man. This panoramic has been pretty crazy though. Pandemic, whatever. It's got me doing drugs for sure. I'm doing drugs. How about you guys?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah. But I realized what this panoramic has done is made me realize what the good drugs are. And for me, it's weed. Right? And weed is the best drug because weed, every time I smoke weed, it always makes me just lazy enough to not buy cocaine.
That's what it's supposed to do.
There you go. Is that Bruce? Really? No, never mind.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell,
Bruce
That
knows
is what
all
it's supposed to
about
do. What's that?
Bruce knows all about that stuff, man.
Oh man, that's why I saw him and I'm like, you look like you know what all that stuff would be.
Yeah, I've been here 44 years. I'm just learning.
Right on, Bruce. Cocaine's so stupid, right, Bruce?
I wouldn't know.
Oh, now he's lying.
I lived through the 80s.
He only sells it. He doesn't do
I
it.
was here in the 80s.
Cocaine's so stupid, man. Every time I do it, and whatever, it always ends up the same way, right? It's me and my friends. It's like 4 a.m, and we're all just like, "Yo, guys, we have so much potential." Right? We're like, "Man, tomorrow we're gonna get our shit together, man." I'm like, "Yo, it is tomorrow." But I don't know, man. I'm originally from Uruguay. Can you guys tell? Probably not. Yeah, you guys know where Uruguay is?
Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to butcher it and say Uruguay, and I hate that shit. Right? Like I can tell by some of you guys laughing, like, "Oh, that's what he was saying." Like I hate saying Uruguay, man. Every time I say Uruguay, I can just feel the culture just leaving my body. Like every time I say Uruguay, I'm like, "Fuck, man, tofu does taste good." I'm like, "Oh man, like all lives do matter," You start losing your culture. So like I have to try to say Uruguay, but when I say Uruguay, a lot of times people are like, "What the fuck just happened to you?" And it's like nothing. It's just the way I say it. Well, it's tough, dude. Because like being, actually, I kind of went off the rails on that one. But yeah, I've been here for what, like 22 years, right? And I feel like, once again, I feel like I've been slowly losing my culture, right? Like I'm saying shit like Uruguay, right? And I know I'm losing it, right? And I know I'm losing my culture because like now I'm believing in all like the American fairy tales, right? Like I've been in this country for so long now that now I believe in things like depression. I'm like, "Yo, what is depression, dog? Like that's a first world problem." Because like to me, it seems like to be depressed, you have to have a job, a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and walk out like, "I'm not feeling well." Like, dude, in Uruguay, we don't have depression. In Uruguay, we don't have depression, man. Like, we just have hunger. Yeah, you guys should have laughed harder, to be honest. It's not funny?
No.
Oh, why not? We depressed? We taking pills? All right. Did I get too personal? What happened? Okay. Like, yo, I tried to tell my mom I was depressed. All right. And like my single mom, right? So my single immigrant mother, I tried telling her I was depressed. And first of all, just to give you guys a picture, my mom came to this country. She worked at fast food restaurants to feed me, put a roof over my head, you know? And so I told the woman like that, right? By the way, happy International Women's Day. I told the woman like that. I was like, yo, mom, I think I'm depressed. She was like, oh, sí, mijo? And then she just started hitting me.
How you feel now?
You know, still depressed. But she was like, she couldn't believe it. You know, she was like, wow, mijo, like you have time to be depressed.
Yeah.
Then you have time to get a second job, stupid. Right? So I got 2 jobs now. never depressed, but I'm always tired, you know. That's the immigrant way. Like I said, like it's tough to hold on to your culture, and because you have to, I feel like that's the whole point, right? You come to this country, you're an immigrant, and you want to add to it, make it a more beautiful place. That's the whole point, right? That's what makes the United States great. But like I said, like the more I'm here, the more I feel like I'm losing it, you guys. Every day. Like I also now believe in allergies. Like allergies, I could have sworn they only made allergies for white people. Like that's you know, and I only say this because that's what every Surtec commercial I've ever seen, that's what it is. It's like a white family. They're like around a fire, you know? They got a big house, pool in the back. It's like, Bill can't be a good dad because he's sneezing. Like, Surtec. You're like, what? They're like, Bill's a sneezing a cough away from being a bad father? Like, how weak are these people? You know? Like, you're never going to see that Surtec commercial for like an immigrant worker. All right, like Jose working in the fields picking oranges. You're not going to see that, right? So like Jose was just picking oranges, but then, oh, Dios mío. Sorteco. Hey, you guys have been great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Griffin. I've been Tito Gonzalez. You guys have a great night.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I'm always going to say Uruguay from now on. Everybody Uruguay. No, it's true though. It's true. I find myself saying tomato and shit like that now.
Right.
And it's wrong. It's tomato. Yeah. Anyway, that's another show, Marin County. And if you're at home, you could get dressed now. Yeah, put your clothes on. We won't be seeing anything. You know, this is a two-way TV, right? We can see you. So, you two over there, stop that. It's disgusting. You got to go from the front, sir. Front. Anyway, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, boys and girls, we'll see you next time. This is CMCM TV, marINSANITY, and it's on channel 26 on cable every Sunday night. Good night, darlings.